Hello, my name is Rachel Rowland and I'm the Academic Manager for Concorde International in Canterbury, England. And today I would like to speak about why it is important to include critical thinking within an ESP programme, and we'll look at types of activities that should be included when planning your programme. So to begin, why is it important to include critical thinking within an ESP programme? Well, providing opportunities to practice being critical thinkers assist students in analysing others' thinking and examining other people's logic, as well as being able to explain and question their own opinions. Understanding others is an essential skill in collaboration and in everyday life. Therefore, developing critical thinking skills will provide a global competitive edge for professionals and will aid international negotiations. So, what is critical thinking? Well, some of the key critical thinking skills are analysis, interpretation, inference, explanation, open-mindedness, problem solving, and creativity. Critical thinking skills are essential for those who wish to communicate effectively on a global scale. Enhancement of these skills will mean that students are better able to question ideas and arguments, create reasonable arguments of their own, decide what information is relevant or irrelevant, draw conclusions, and much more. Many believe that developing critical thinking skills can be challenging due to insufficient language proficiency. When we teach students with low levels of English, we often use activities and tasks which draw on lower order thinking, such as remembering and understanding, instead of including higher order thinking tasks such as analysing and evaluating. There's also the danger that low-level speakers of English can be treated as if they have low-level intelligence, when clearly this is not the case. Teachers should include activities and tasks which encourage lower and higher order thinking, but which are achievable with language at a lower level. Some suggestions on how to integrate critical thinking at lower levels are: make the most of the language they already know. For example, expressing opinions can be achieved at lower levels by using words and phrases that are introduced at low levels, such as I think, what do you think, I agree, I disagree. Giving reasons. So encouraging students to give reasons for their answers or opinions at lower levels is a useful step towards developing critical thinking. Teachers should follow up on a student's viewpoint by asking them, why do you think that? Or when we have classroom group discussions, ask the group to give reasons for their ideas using the language they already have. For example, because I think. Ask students to find examples in a text or give examples of their own. For example, they could read an article about how people like to relax and then find examples from the text, followed by giving examples of how they like to relax. Reading between the lines. We can often guess how people are feeling from information provided in the text, even though the article doesn't always tell us. Example task could be: students read a story and use the information in the story, as well as their own interpretation of it, to discuss questions. For example, what has the main character achieved as a result of his journey? So the content for developing critical thinking skills will ideally vary depending on the needs of the learners, for example, their job role and the competencies that need to be developed. Therefore, a syllabus with a focus on content related to their work is a good place to start. Scenario-based learning, such as role plays, is an active learning method that uses real-life situations to create relatable learning experiences. Students value these opportunities to practice skills before they have to do them in real life. These exercises build on the skills they already have and create a foundation for further skill development. These activities naturally develop into discussion. In turn, students practice critical thinking and problem solving. Students need opportunities where they can put their knowledge into practice, develop their own views, challenge their own biases, ask other people to explain their thought processes, and consolidate what they've learnt. Teachers should use real scenarios or even past experience from the students, as it will help facilitate real memorable experiences. And after the exercises, teachers should ask students to consider what they would do differently next time and what the most meaningful takeaway was for them. There are many activities that the teacher can incorporate into lessons. For example, the Think, Pair, Share activity. The teacher asks the students to consider a question on their own and then asks students to discuss the question in pairs before discussing as a whole class. The activity works well when the questions encourage deeper thinking or problem solving. The question could be related to a situation that has come up at work or is likely to occur in the future. Another activity that you can incorporate into your lessons, the worst case scenario. So the teacher constructs a scenario in which students would need to work together and solve a problem to succeed. For example, tell them they are stranded on a desert island, come up with a list of tasks in order of priority that they must do as a group in order to survive, and then they must give reasons for their answers. Although it is unlikely that a bunch of civil servants will be stranded together on a desert island, this activity encourages the utilisation of critical thinking skills. Determining the right course of action is essential when involved in a higher risk situation, and this calls for quick and accurate decision making. These activities encourage the use of critical thinking skills, and by thinking critically and seeing things from different angles, students become better communicators and are more inclined to collaborate and receive and discuss ideas. Without incorporating opportunities for practicing these skills within a language learning program, students would struggle to reach proficiency level in English. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation today. Thank you very much.